In this video we're going to evaluate logs, so we'll do page 1, page 2 and page 3. So here's page 1, here's examples on page 2, and here's some examples on page 3. Okay. Okay, so first thing we'll write down, just so we have it, is our little remembering formula. 10 squared equals what? 10 squared equals 100, and the corresponding log equation to this exponential equation is what? If you were to convert this to a log equation, you would say log base 10 of 100 is equal to 2. Okay? So basically, one way to think about this is when I'm writing down log base 10 of 100, okay, I'm saying what exponent can I put on 10 to give me the answer 100? In other words, I'm saying 10 to the power of what gives 100, right? And what's the answer? The answer is 2, right? Log base 10 of 100 equals 2. So if I'm doing this one, log base 10 of 1000, what's the answer to this? Can you write it down right away? So you're basically asking 10 to the power of what gives 1000. Okay? 10 to the power of what gives 1000. And you might think, well, the answer has to be, any idea? The answer has to be 3, right? I guess one way you might want to do it is write that this equals x, then convert this to an exponential equation. You'll get 10 to the power of x equals 1000, and then try and figure out what x is. You can write 1000 as a power of 10, that would be 10 cubed, right? And then say, okay, the bases are the same. 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of 3, therefore the exponents must be the same. X must equal 3. So you can do it that way if you like. Or you can just try and figure it out. So like if I'm getting log base 5 of 25, I'm basically asking 5 to the power of what gives 25. Can you write down the answer to that? Is the answer 2? 5 squared is 25, right? So log base 5 of 25 equals 2, right? So you can just do it that way, I guess. How about this one? Log base 10 of 0.1. And again, I don't know what you prefer to do. I guess if we were to come up with a method, we would say, okay, that equals x, and then we could say 10 to the power of x, turn this into an exponential. 10 to the power of x equals 0.1, and then turn this into a power of 10, right? So let's write 0.1 as a fraction. What is 0.1 as a fraction? As a fraction, it is 1 dime, isn't it? 0.1 of a dollar is 1 dime. It's tenths, so it's 1/10, right? And what is 1/10 as a power of 10? It's 10 to the power of what? 1/10 is 10 to the power of what? Any idea? So we have 10 to the power of x, 10 to the power of x equals that. What exponent on 10 would give you 1/10? So 1/10 is 10 to the power of -1, right? Does that make sense? So then you could just say, okay, the bases are the same, So the exponents must be equal, right? Does that make sense? 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of negative 1. Well, surely x is negative 1. So I guess that's one way of doing it. But I don't know if you like to do it this way or if you just like to try and like if I'm getting log base 10 of 0.01, what I'm saying is basically 10 to the power of what gives 0.01, right? And then I could figure this out. Whoops. So write 0.01 as a fraction and see what you get. It's like 1 cent. 1 cent is what fraction of a dollar? 1 cent is 1/100th of a dollar, isn't it? And 1 over 100 is 1 over 10 to the power of what? 10 to the power of what gives 100? 10 to the power of 2, isn't it? And 1 over 10 squared is 10 to the power of what? Ten to the power of negative 2, isn't it? 1 over 10 squared is 10 to the power of negative 2, right? So the answer is that the question was what is log base 10 of 0.01? So you're saying 10 to the power of what gives 0.01? Well, the answer is 10 to the power of negative 2 gives 0.01 because it's 1 over 10 squared, which is 1 over 100, which is 0.01, right? So the answer is negative 2 on that one. Okay, see if you can do this. Oops. See if you can do this next example by yourself. Press pause and try this one. Log base 10 of 0.001. So, I hope you've tried this one. I don't know which way you like to do it. You could say log base 10 of 0.001. You could say that equals x, and you have to find what x is. And so if we set up an exponential equation, that would be 10 to the power of x, right, equals 0.001. And then write this as, try to write this side as a power of 10. Okay. So 0.001 is 1 over 1,000, you see, which is 1 over 10 to the power of what? 10 to the power of 3, right? Which is 10 to the power of negative 1 over 10 to the power of 3 is 10 to the power of negative 3, right? So we have 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of negative 3. Both bases are the same, therefore surely x is negative 3, right? So this thing then is, of course, x is this thing is negative 3. X equals negative 3. So what about this one? Log base 10 of 1. Can you do this one by yourself? By all means, go ahead and do the rest of them faster than I can. That's fine. You can set it equal to x and then try and solve it, right? And if you need to, why don't we write this down really quickly? 10 squared equals what? 100. Write it down. 10 squared equals 100. Now write down the log equation to that. Log base 10 of 100 equals 2. Now turn this back into an exponential equation. This number to the power of this number equals this number, right? So to go from log to exponent, log equation to exponent equation, we go this to the power of this equals this, right? So with this one, we just go this to the power of this equals this. 10 to the power of x equals 1. Or in other words, what exponent on 10 will give us 1? Any idea? You can guess it if you like. What do you think x is equal to? 10 to the power of what gives 1? X equals 0, right? Because 10 to the power of 0 equals 1. Or you can try and convert this to the power of 10. You could say, okay, that's 10 to the power of 0. So you've got 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of 0. Therefore, x is 0. The exponent is 0, right?